Hey everybody, and welcome back to the second and final games of this quarterfinal WCG USA qualifier. The winner of this single game will be one of 4 teams at WCG USA, and that qualifier will of course determine, that future qualifier, the WCG USA qualifier, will determine the representative or representatives for USA in World Cyber Games 2011 for League of Legends. So we have Unrestricted and Complexity in this quarterfinal match. Again, this single game will decide who moves on. Unrestricted, a UNR, red health bars, top right corner, purple team, and Complexity, COL, bottom left, green health bars, blue team. And right away we have some aggression from UNR. They're actually moving around and completely, they basically have used clairvoyance and they've spotted that, they're actually safe to go down this brush, and they're actually going to start and set up a bait for the golem, and they're actually going to hide down in the bottom by these trees. And this is not a spot that a team ever really roll clairvoyance or ward, so they are not going to get spotted in this situation. And they're basically going to sit there and wait for this jungle Fiddlesticks to go for the golem buff, and you can see they're going to wait around. They're going to wait for 155. They're going to stay in the back. They're staying very reserved. They're playing safe, and they're going to get a gank basically, or they're going to try to get a gank onto this golem attempt. So it's 155. The golem is spawned, and they're going for it. So they're going to go ahead and lead the way out. Riot should have Rune Prison learned, and there we go. They found Fiddlesticks, and surprise party shows up on a Fiddlesticks. Time bomb goes out. He will flash for the time bomb. Will pick up that kill. He will get flashed on anyway, but that will be a kill right there. So people are picking up that kill as that guy right there, as Zillion, and Warwick going to have the golem buff. First blood picked up, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and already the advantage quite big for Unrestricted. They've now turned this game around. The first game, of course, they lost 20 minutes in with a surrender vote, not even picking up a kill. They turned this one around, picking up first blood before really any... The first experience even gained in the game was the first blood kill. They dropped down the jungler. They stole the golem camp. So UNR in great shape right now. It looks like Zillion will be the solo mid against Malzahar. Up top will be Rise against Cho'Gath. The junglers will be Warwick against Fiddlesticks. And the bottom lane is going to be Misfortune plus Sona against Vayne plus Soraka. And so we see Soraka, again, actually picked up in the bottom lane team. But actually, it's Complexity now picking up that Soraka. They've actually grabbed her from last time. And if you notice, the rest of that lineup is actually brand new. Certainly the Ashe was banned out this time. The Rise is the mage pick there. They've got a Cho'Gath soloing top instead of that Rumble, who was banned as well, of course. And Fiddlesticks actually being allowed in as well, a different jungler there. We do see a Warwick being repeated for Warwick being repeated though in a jungler in this case. UNR definitely playing a Warwick once more, but they've got him on jungle duty this time, and instead their solo top going to be Cho'Gath. The double mage pickup though, pretty interesting. So you're going to see how that plays out. UNR playing double mage as Rise and Zillion instead of Rumble, which you could call a mage, I suppose, but really is more of a lane bully and then sort of a tanky DPS champion late. So, setups is strong, and I'm sorry guys, I missed. It wasn't first blood, but I did miss the trade kill there on Zillion versus Malzahar. Did not expect the 1v1 kill. I was watching the top lane, and watched people farm, and Zillion went for a dive. Did pick up. Ultimately, the trade kill is 300 gold a piece. Not really a big deal there, but wow, the aggression super massive right there. From that Vayne right there, but basically I think it's actually the advantage for Complexity to play that kind of an aggressive lane, because ultimately their sustain is stronger. But wow, the aggression super good on from UNR. Wow, the push gonna stay onto Misfortune. One more. Oh no, they hit a minion. 2 more hits would have killed that Misfortune, but they've instead backed off. But I think the rampant aggression is better from Complexity because they're allowing themselves better shapes. But UNR coming around from the back. And Genoma's going to try to get themselves in a position. No, will get pushed back by Vayne. Going to be okay. But I think Complexity pushing in a heavily aggressive lane is better because they have more sustain. They have more direct healing, and they have free mana as well from that Soraka. And wow, the pressure is massive. They're going to flash, but no. The flash from Soda will keep himself alive just barely. Now the exhaust coming in. Pooh Bear not in good shape. Will pick up that kill. Misfortune going to grab that one as well. So UNR going 2-0. They're not going to look like they're going to try to. They will not actually push in on a Soraka. They will not go for that one at all. So the flashes are traded, but the exhaust is strong. The Misfortune will pick up that kill. And again, the harassment coming out extremely well. Double Doran's Ring from Zillion. It means a lot of ability power and a lot of sustained mana. He's going to keep throwing out those time bombs. And it's going to be crazy hard for Malzahar to deal with, basically. And yeah, Zillion versus Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's pushing the lane. He's going to recall back, pick up some new items. It's going to be okay there, so it's not going to be a shutout game this time, though. That trade kill in mid was there, but it's 3-1 the kill score, and And that's a good place to be in, honestly, if you need to win this game to stay alive, and not even just to stay alive, but to go and advance in WC USA. Going 1-0 is, or going 3-1 is a good start. First blood, stole the golem, and I don't think Fiddlesticks ever grabbed the golem from the UNR side. So Fiddle's been juggling without blue. He's been recalling a lot to grab mana basically, and that is extremely powerful. That is a great start from UNR to make that happen. Level 5 on that rise right there, last inning as best he can, and yeah, they're just in wonderful shape. So ultimately, you know, the end game prediction here. Cho'Gath has great true damage, but there's nothing he really needs to true damage against, right? So they've got Cho and Vayne throwing out true damage here, but they don't have any direct champion synergy, right? They've got Fiddlesticks, but they don't have any AoE roots that are consistent, right? They don't have, like, you know, because they've got Jungle Fiddlesticks, they didn't run Jungle Amumu, they didn't run, like, Lane Galio for that AoE taunt, they didn't run Shen or anything like that, so they don't really have the ability to lock anyone up. You know, no Ashe either. So they can't lock anyone up for that Crow Storm. So that surprise party that he throws out, you know, it allows the other team to run away. And you look at UNR's lineup, and they've got Sona for movement speed, and you know, Rise and Zilean can both, you know, revive a guy, or, you know, basically their lineup can stay out of range. Their only melee there is Warwick, and he can get revived by Zilean, hasted by Zilean, hasted by Sona. So they can run away from surprise party Fiddlesticks really easily. And that's really massive from these guys, actually, that, you know, they can really get away from that Fiddle jungle. They basically counterpick that Fiddlesticks, and it's worked really well for them. You can see Zilean now coming in to support with Warwick down towards the bottom. They're going to maybe look for... Oh, the jump actually coming out of Warwick a little bit, but Ponos will miss that Q and will not follow up with the ultimate, so Warwick will jump out and be perfectly safe, but he tried to counter juggle there onto Fiddlesticks and did not get much out of that. But it was an attempt. They did manage to blow a couple of cooldowns and a little bit of that mana off of Malzahar. Certainly a worthwhile endeavor, but not too much gained from that push. All right, and let's see. You know, Cho fighting Rise up top. Rise putting out a nice bit of burst right there, trying to get rid of a lot of his minions, but he's actually out of mana, which is why he's trying to push those minions out. He's trying to push them so he can recall back and not get his turret pushed. He's going to kill the last of those and recall back at the back of his turret. Going to see Zilean stay in mid. Warwick again coming around the side, but he's been spotted, and here comes the fight in mid. I am not watching it, but Warwick has jumped onto that. There we go. Podar's taking a ton of damage. He will go down to that time bomb. Going to walk back into range, but no, not going to matter. Flash ult from Warwick. Double time bomb from Zilean. Tons of damage off it coming out from that one. Just crushing his health from full to nothing. And that's going to happen to a Malzahar. Malzahar is not the most durable champion in the game. When you've got a Warwick who's level 8 and a giant, a highly leveled Zilean as well, that double time bomb, the rank 4 time bomb, yeah, it's going to be a nice like 600 damage burst or so, and that's going to blow up that Malzahar, and it did so. So again, UNR picking up another kill right there, and they're in wonderful shape. Rise is back to that lane again, fighting that Cho, putting out some nice damage actually. And you know, Cho's gonna try to revive some of that health with his passive, but it's not doing too much. That Fiddlestick is level 6. He's actually tied with Warwick. So despite all that pressure these guys got early on, where, you know, Complexity lost their Golem buff, UNR, you know, tried to get some ganks on a Fiddle. They actually killed Fiddle, of course, right at the start. Actually, Fiddle managed to jungle just as well as Warwick, at least as far as levels are concerned. Now, certainly, you know, maybe he took over solo lanes for deaths a couple times, but for the most part, you know, he's kept up with levels, and wow, UNR going for an early dragon. Warwick bought that pink ward, and, you know, he's doing wonderfully right now. He's actually getting quite a couple of procs there on that Madrid's Razors, and he's going to take down that dragon for free, not getting spotted at all. No one from Complexity even trying to move around. So first dragon, in fact, does go around 9.5 minutes in, so 15.5 minutes for that respawn. First dragon, first blood, first couple of kills, all going to UNR right now. This game has basically been turned on its head from last time. But they certainly give up a kill, but they've now completely come out with force here, and they are in wonderful shape right now. So let's see if they can keep this pressure up. They've got the bottom lane pretty much secured. They've gotten that first kill down there, but for the most part, they're not getting they're not getting much else done. Bottom lane has turned back into a farm fest. The mid lane, certainly a level 9 Zilean with Golem buff, is super strong. Looks like that you know, that was given to him. I didn't even check if it was by Malzahar from the kill or by Warwick being a friendly jungler. But a Zilean with blue is super difficult to deal with, because you can basically AoE down your minion waves every single time. You can see right there, bam, time bomb's coming out. Malzahar does not have really strong burst on low cooldowns, so even though he's got the great bouncing malefic visions. He's got strong AoEs with Call the Void and Null Zone. He's still sort of fighting against this turret where he's waiting for the damage over time effects to kick in at the right time. It's extremely hard to get correctly. Where in ideal situations, yeah, it bounces between targets and less hits for you, but it's not a Vladimir with a 3-second cooldown Q with Tides of Blood throwing out giant AoEs. And of course, this is back a couple patches. This is the patch before Oriana's released. We have not updated these builds just yet, but I think these teams qualify with that build in mind. We'll update in the future. But this is back the balance changes of the Vayne Plus patch, where the Vayne got some minor nerfs. Oriana not quite yet released. That's the build we're playing here. The same release as the DreamHack qualifiers as well, or the DreamHack qualifiers, the DreamHack Season 1 Championship as well. So FYI on those, the most recent balance change is not yet in this patch. The pressure from top lane, really great from Ryze. He's actually managed to push down Cho'Gath quite a bit, keeping at about half health. But he's never been able to kill Cho'Gath. He's got such a great, giant health pool, and he's not really been receiving any ganks from his jungler, that it's very hard to get those kills on a very tanky guy like that. And you can see Zilean just throwing out these time bombs, has a needlessly large rod already, which means he's throwing out even heavier time bombs before even 12 minutes are in. That's a great timing for that kind of stuff. He's super farmed. Ginseng, of course, still trying to farm out these mini waves, doing the best he can on these monsters, killing these wolves out. Doing an alright job at that, but he's just, gonna run low on mana every single time. He's gotta get golden buff for himself, every single time that thing respawns. It's gonna help his last hitting a lot, or his monster farming in general a lot. This Vayne last hitting quite well against this turret, and getting just free health and mana from the Soraka gonna be pretty healthy because of all of this. Really not afraid of his bottom lane anymore now that Soraka is up to level 7 or so. That heal is strong enough to pretty much overpower what Miss Fortune can actually hand out. So they'll be in probably pretty good shape in bottom lane for the foreseeable future. In the meantime, we saw that Malzahar actually picked up a Ruby Crystal just to try to survive against his burst damage a little bit better, which I think is actually kind of funny. You can see, wow, the pressure just against that Sona is so incredibly strong. You can see that Miss Fortune does put out a lot of damage, but again, gets sustained back up by this Soraka. Not too worried about it at all. And yeah, Cho just looks happy to keep farming mid lane. But only taking a little bit of damage from Malzahar. But again, you look at the level disparity there, and it's 11 versus 9. That is a gigantic difference, of course. Those times continuing to clear out these minion waves just quite strongly, and pushing Malz to his turret is definitely going to give you the gold advantage, where when they get one-shotted by a time bomb, of course you're going to last hit every one of those minions because you blew them up in one shot. You get all that gold, and Malzahar, of course, has the chance of missing every single time. He might play phenomenally and get them every single time, sure, but you've got the chance of a mistake every time, and if he ever has to recall to the base, he's going to miss the entire wave, and you've got just such a great power there where you push to the turret and you can back off because the minions aren't fighting. You don't need to sit around for experience. You can just back off. Minions will get some free damage out of that turret. You basically just get all the harassment you want for free, and it works wonderfully well. So looks like here actually Pavelka is going to actually let himself get pushed back to his own turret, and I think he's baiting for Warwick. His Warwick came in from the side, and he wanted to bait Malzahar to play aggressively, but that did not happen. The Malzahar played safely, and he was successful there. But now you see that Zilean has allowed the minion to push down to his own side of the base. And yet Warwick waiting in the wings should have flash and his ultimate ready, so they're going to bait once more for this Malzahar to try to jump into that wave to fight minion waves, and he knows something up. Suddenly, Zilean stopped just chain pushing the wave and said, okay, now you come back to me, you come on my side, and we're going to fight there. And sure enough, it worked quite well, and Malzahar though decided, no, I know this trick, I'm going to let that one push away. And, thankfully for him, of course, Warwick did finally push away and say, okay, I'm going to run towards the bottom lane instead. And Malzahar is going to be safe this time around. And as soon as Warwick comes away and decides, okay, we're not going to gank, once again, he pushes the wave all the way down to the turret. And Malzahar must once more fight his own turret for gold. And that is not going to be beautiful. That does hurt him every single time a little bit. He'll miss one or two every time. Vayne last hitting very strongly against this turret, going to do what she can there. The harassment, though, super strong on us. So look at that damage output. Oh, almost picks her up right there. But they've been baited. And here comes the dance. And there comes Warwick. And she's going to flash out just in time.